Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jacqueline Monet, and today is a special episode dedicated, we're calling it episode, a special video that I had to post or talk about. Today is National Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. And for those of you who don't know, I have fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed about 6 years ago now when I turned 30. It's crazy. As soon as 30 hit, it's like everything went downhill. I don't know what that's about. But anywho, I'm just really excited to bring some awareness, give you guys some insight, and explain some of my experiences as a person with fibromyalgia, and just let you know, like, life doesn't end just because you have a diagnosis. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 things that you probably just didn't know that you should know about what it's like to live with fibromyalgia. All right, so let's start for number one. I have a list over here, so if you see me looking over here, that's where the list is at. So number one, finding a good doctor can feel impossible. They often turn you away. Yes. So when I was first trying to figure out how to get what this diagnosis was or what was going on, and I'll have to probably talk about that in a bigger, larger extent at some point, I was living in New York, and so I didn't know what was going on, and I went to my regular doctor, got a whole bunch of blood work done, a lot of poking and prodding, and then finally they sent me to a rheumatologist. Rheumatologist was great. He's the one that helped me figure out what was going on based on my symptoms and that I have fibromyalgia. Fast forward, when I moved to Atlanta, right, and I was in Buckhead, or Buckhood as I call it, it was so hard for me to find a doctor, okay? Like, I got probably turned away by at least 6 doctors. And when I tell y'all that feeling of just defeat and feeling like, damn, so nobody's gonna take me seriously, nobody's gonna hear what I have to say, everyone's just gonna turn me away. It's like, it felt like fibromyalgia was a bad word. And so whenever I would try to find a rheumatologist and get some questions answered, they would simply say, why were you coming to visit? The person that I would call the front desk, like, they would ask about my insurance, all that stuff, and they say, what's your reason for your visit? And I'll say fibromyalgia, and they say, oh, I'm so sorry. The doctor's not gonna see fibromyalgia patients at this time. And I'm like, wow. Or they'll say, yeah, sure, let's set your appointment up, and then call me again right before, like, yeah, sorry, doctor's not seeing fibromyalgia patients at this time. And it's just like, yo, what? So sometimes I felt defeated, right? Like, dang, so I can't get help from anybody. And shout out to my primary care physician here, Dr. Christina Hall through Emory. She is awesome, Emory Sharpsburg. She was holding me down the whole time, just really trying to figure things out and help me sort things out. But granted, I had to find her after I fired my entire medical team because they just were not listening to me. I was on so much medication, had so many side effects. It was a whole whirlwind. Talk about that another time. But it can be really hard to find doctors that really want to support you and listen. So I've gone through a series of probably 10 doctors in Atlanta, and now I finally have a medical team that I love. That Dr. Wilson, he is at Piedmont in Buckhead. So I'm glad that I finally found a doctor, but man, it can be incredibly hard. And when I tell people that I get turned away by doctors, they're kind of just in disbelief, right? Like, oh, all doctors are supposed to take you and help you. Nope. When it comes to fibromyalgia, that's a bad word. And a lot of doctors don't want to deal with it because they see it as a ghost diagnosis. They don't believe it's real, or they think it's, oh, some doctor before me tried everything, couldn't figure it out, and they just labeled it fibromyalgia. So it's just in your head, I'm not going to see you, or I can't fix you, so I don't want to bother. Crazy. All right, so that's number one. Number two, if you're a woman and you have fibromyalgia, first off, let me say women and men can both have fibromyalgia, right? But studies have shown that the cases are higher for women. And so if you're a woman and you are still in the age range of having a menstrual cycle, it can be a whole nother level of pain and chaos, okay? So I've always historically had an issue with my period and like my menstrual cycle from high school all the way to now, right? To the point where I had to eventually have a robotic myomectomy to remove my fibroids when I moved to Atlanta. So we'll talk about that another time. But as my fibromyalgia continued to progress and get kind of worse in Atlanta, it seemed like that's when the most of my feminine health issues started kind of spiraling and happening, right? So it is a proven fact that most people, statistically women who have fibromyalgia, will also have feminine health issues. So from the cramps to the heavy bleeding to you name it, all of those normal symptoms you read about for periods like heighten. On top of that, your fibromyalgia symptoms get worse at the time of the month as well. So your flare-ups are more intense, your fatigue waves are more intense. You almost are kind of debilitated for a couple days, like 2 to 3 days, depending on how long your period is, right? Mine's like a full 7-day cycle these days. And so those days are really bad. I got to the point where I pretty much would have to call out of work every time I was on my period because I just could not function on those days. It's like hell on wheels. So I'm kind of bedbound. I'm stuck in my house. I can't do anything really for myself. And so shout out to my boyfriend, because luckily now he has been the one to help me when I can't get out of bed and I can't get downstairs. I can't walk the dogs. I can't get things for myself to eat. And he helps me in that space. And we've had to kind of make that agreement, which I guess is another thing, right? When you are in a relationship with someone, you have to be upfront about this and let them know, like, I probably need your help in these moments of time. And this is what my life will be like in these moments of time. It will be very difficult. It'll be probably highly emotional and pain, maybe crying. I don't know. It's a really, really tough time. And I have friends who even have tried to come over, help me when I lived alone, try to help me clean the dishes, just basic things that you normally do in your day-to-day feel and seem impossible in those moments. I didn't think it could get any worse because my period has historically just been bad, right? But it got even worse with fibromyalgia. And so I kind of dread those times. So luckily I've worked things out with my gynecologist where I skip my period. So with birth control, I have a period every 3 to 4 months. And so that kind of makes my life more manageable because I can just prepare myself for when I have to have it and just know it might be a tough road ahead. However, this time around, it wasn't as bad and I had some relief. I don't know if that's because I'm actually ending it right now. That's TMI. But I am a vegetarian this year, so I've noticed that when I do have my period, it is a lot different, which is interesting. So my eating habits also help and change things. And so even right now, one of my mentors, shout out to Lauren, big sis, she suggested okra water. I know that sounds disgusting. It is. I'm not gonna lie, it's nasty by itself. But now I've gotten to the point where I blend it with other things and I can get it down, right? So I have lemon, ginger, beet juice, and cayenne in here, but the liquid is okra water. So that's supposed to help with the inflammation and the cramps and the pain. So far so good. This time actually was a little bit better. She said it was supposed to take 30 days, so maybe it's all in my head, but honestly, my period was a lot more manageable this time. I wasn't bleeding as heavy, as many days. I wasn't cramping as bad. So I think I'm trying to find different, natural remedies to work it out. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, until you find other alternatives or you find a way to reverse it or change your life around, which isn't the case for all of us because everyone's fibromyalgia is different, daily pain medication is a must. I meant to bring my bottle in here, but basically for me, luckily I've gotten down to one singular pain medication that I take 3 times a day. I take gabapentin, and it's funny, I just had to change my medication because the previous one, pregabalin, was not working anymore and it made me gain so much weight. So when you have to deal with the constant change of pain medication, it really kind of takes a hold of your life and you have to continue to fight, and it's so tough. So at one point, a few years ago, I was on like 5 different pain medications and I had so many side effects to where my quality of life was non-existent. I couldn't do anything. I was flared up all the time. I didn't have a social life. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't travel. I couldn't do anything. And I said, enough is enough. We're not doing this. And that's when I had to fire my medical team because they just were not listening. It almost felt like they were trying to pump me with more meds to make more money. I don't know, big pharma. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes that be feeling real, okay? So I just had to make sure that I listened to my body. Well, first, remove the shame. All right, listen, almost everybody is on some kind of medication now. If you need to get prescribed something to make yourself feel better, it is what it is. Don't be shameful about that. Don't be ashamed. Like, who cares? Like, just take what you need to take, and that's just what it is, right? And so, yes, I take pain medication. Even when I'm out, I have to always have water or something with me because I'm on a clocked regimen. Probably every 4 to 5 hours, I have to take the same pain medication. When the really, really bad days hit, when the break glass, a case of emergency hits, I've been now trying to lean more on CBD. So CBD gummies, CBD drops, like all different types of variations of CBD to kind of get my flare up in order, get my body feeling better, and get me relaxed. But other than that, I might have to use, why am I blanking on the name right now? Let's see, brain fog. That's another part of fibromyalgia. Sometimes I have to rely on steroids, but I try to use the lowest version of that ever. What is the name of it? I'm gonna pop it up on the screen because I just can't think right now. And shout out to my folks with lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, because I know y'all have to use this too, and you know what I'm talking about. But I try really hard not to use steroids because, you get swollen, you gain weight. There's like all kinds of side effects. So I try not to get to that, and sometimes it's hard to wean off. So there's that. But my primary one is gabapentin. I just switched probably 6 months ago or maybe less. And it's been a game changer. I feel like I'm getting back to my normal self. I feel like my quality of life is increased. My weight is coming off. Like, it was getting so frustrated to the point where I felt like nothing I was doing was working, and my weight just kept increasing with pregabalin. So I wish the doctors warned me of that ahead of time, because weight gain is definitely a side effect of pregabalin, which is crazy. So my heart goes out to all the folks who have to take pregabalin and who are dealing with that, with the weight changes and the weight gain, because it's so frustrating and it takes a mental toll on you for sure. But I've probably had like 5-6 other pain medications before these two. But gabapentin is my go-to right now. And I mean, hopefully I can partner with them and have some kind of relationship and maybe speak with them and be a brand ambassador one day. Who knows? But shout out to gabapentin. Thank you for your help. And I'm trying to find other alternatives, but a lot of times when I try a different alternative, it's just a band-aid for the moment. It's not a consistent thing that works. So you're going to constantly have to keep trying things, listen to your body, see what side effects happen, and then relay that to your doctor and your medical team so you can make the adjustments, or herbalists or people who are helping you with natural remedies. You just have to continue to make adjustments and make changes, right? I've tried so many things. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, you can't see the pain most of the time you look at me. Ironically, right now, I'm actually doing okay. I mean, there's always a lingering pain somewhere. So like my hips right now, my neck and shoulders a little bit, but I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm at like a 3 or 4 today. But my pain areas are constantly my neck, my shoulders, between my shoulder blades, my knees, my elbows, sometimes my knuckles, ankles sometimes kick in, my hips. So it's really all my joints and muscles that surround them. That's the experience of fibromyalgia. So when you can imagine, when I have flare-ups, it's all of that happening at once, or one of those areas or 2 or 3 of them areas are happening to the highest, fullest extent. There are times also where I have other things going on, like tinnitus, like in my ears might be ringing and it just comes out of nowhere. Or I'm sensitive to light and sound, so sometimes I have to really have things dim, or I have to, tell people, can you just keep it down a little bit or turn the music down? It just sucks. I love my music loud. But yeah, lights can be really sensitive to me. It's funny because it's always been that way since I was young, but found out that's a fibromyalgia thing too. So there's a list of symptoms that follow suit with fibromyalgia that kind of could just come and go every single day. Every day, you just never know what might hit you. So you can't see it on the outside, but sometimes you can feel it. It depends, right? Because sometimes if I get hit with a fatigue wave, it's like, when someone turns the volume down, like, woo, that's like how it feels, like all of my energy can deplete from me. And so I usually have to sit down or take a breather or just relax for a while or do something to try to replenish my energy, because it could be a really dramatic swing. So those are the times you can see it. But a lot of times I'm talking like this, and you literally can't tell that my hips are on fire right now, right? Like you can't tell that I have pain in my neck and my shoulders and my spine. Like my spine has been the new thing. So, just because someone's saying they are in pain and you can't see it, don't treat it, don't diminish it. Don't act like it doesn't matter or you don't care. Just like show some kind of empathy and just act like you give a fuck, okay? But I'm constantly in pain every single day, but every single day is different on what that level and threshold is, and every hour of the day is different, right? Like I might be feeling okay now, but I don't know what I'll feel like this afternoon and this evening. It might change. All right, so that's number 4. Number 5, it's an ongoing, constant journey. You're always researching. Yes. So it seems like every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, I'm constantly trying and doing new things and researching things and hearing things from people and trying things from doctors and trying things from friends and family. And it's just an ongoing experience I've noticed for the last 6 years. And it just seems like that just is what it is. Like, that's my life at this point. I mean, I would love to be one of those people that's like, yeah, I had fibromyalgia and I reversed it, but that hasn't been my story yet. And so through therapy and just prayer and research and time, I just had to get to this point where I'm like, this is my body. You know, I love my body. It's helped me get through a lot of things. I'm alive. I'm still here. But, you know, I'm managing my pain and I'm managing my fibromyalgia the best way I can. I'm not here trying to reverse it or just get rid of it. I'm just managing it as best as I can while I can. So I'm constantly researching different methods. I'm constantly trying different things. So for example, I was pescatarian last year, and then now this year I'm vegetarian. Pescatarian didn't really do anything. However, I didn't really eat as clean as I should. But this year, as a vegetarian, I've been eating a lot cleaner. For Lent, I did no starch. So with vegetarian and no starch, that was like struggle bus. But I was feeling better, and I was feeling a difference. And so, you know, I'm also trying to get excess weight off from the medication I was taking, right? So I'm hoping those things will help change my experience, and the constant research and the different things that I continue to try. I hope that eventually I can get to the point where I'm almost reversed, or honestly, the goal is to just get to the point where I don't need to take pain medication anymore, because, you know, I don't want to be taking medication every day because we don't know ultimately what it's doing to our organs, our body, and all that. I know we need it, but it feels like a band-aid to me, and I would love to get to the core or the root of the thing that's going on and like resolve it. But you know, it could be a long journey ahead, but it's really just a constant journey, and that's just what it is. But getting to the mental space of like accepting that is the hardest part, I would say. All right, number 6, supplements and natural remedies are a godsend. Yes. Okay, so I take a lot of supplements. At some point, I probably need to do a supplement video because I probably take at least 10 a day. I don't know. Like, for example, this is Rise mushroom coffee in here. I drink it every single day with my lemon water, or now okra water, and other liquids to start my day before I even eat anything. And then I have to take ginkgo biloba because my cognitive abilities and brain fog are on 10 a lot of times because of my pain, right? So like even now, my shoulders are starting to hurt. Probably just because I'm sitting here, and it starts to mess with my cognitive abilities and give me brain fog. So the supplements are major key. Ginkgo biloba changed the game. I started taking that while I was working, and it helped me so much because I started noticing my memory was declining, my ability to just speak fluidly and get things off my mind like as quick as I used to in meetings or just in conversation was a struggle for me. So ginkgo biloba helped with that. I also take collagen powder and peptides in my coffee because that helps with my hips and my joints and inflammation. I use a lot of other natural remedies for inflammation. So for example, like okra water and lemon water and beets, they all help with my iron, all that stuff. And then turmeric, of course, that's always in there somewhere. And I take echinacea. Honestly, that's been my go-to since before quarantine. And to this day, I've never tested positive for COVID, and I'm very happy about that. And I think that's because of my supplement and vitamin remedies. And so I also take a feminine health vitamin, a multi-day, everyday vitamin, and also, I don't know, I gotta think, there's like others, but I'll probably list it below. But there's a lot of supplements and vitamins that I take daily that I do feel like is helping my journey. And if I do feel like there's something that's not helping, I clearly get rid of it and try something new or don't. And so I just try to fill out my body and see how I'm feeling as I take these different supplements and give them a go. But I know there's more. I just can't think of them right now. Sorry, y'all. At some point, I'm going to do a post about all my supplements. All right. Make sure you just give them a try. Supplements and natural remedies are going to be helpful because of pain medication or all the medication that we have to take. we need to flush out our organs and like make sure we're getting the good vitamins and nutrients we need in our body. And so like I take green powder as well through Bloom. There's just different things I try to implement to make sure I'm getting nourished. Also, as a vegetarian, I have to make sure I get the right protein and other things in my system. So protein powder is definitely thrown in there, protein shakes. So there are a list of supplements and natural remedies that I do rely on to help me with this journey. All right, number 7. Moving your body gently and consistently is crucial. Yes, so it did get to the point where I was doing yoga at least once or twice a day, every day, and I did fall off. I'm not gonna lie, I'm human. It happens, right? But I am trying to get back to that point of doing something like yoga every day. But I had to also make a shift of low impact. All right, so I was an athlete my entire life, right? Basically from second grade to second grade to college, all the way to adulthood. So I was always trained to go hard and go kill yourself and like just do all you can to burn and like sweat and just basically until you pass out, right? And so once all this shifted and I shifted into my fibromyalgia getting more intense, it's still kind of a journey, y'all. I had to shift into low impact exercises, and for my blood type and body type, a lot of times it just takes longer, right? And so I was so used to just running it off or just going hard in the gym or like doing something to just get results and see the change in my body, but can't do that anymore. So I've shifted into yoga, stretching, water aerobics, aqua fitness, which is also amazing. Shout out to Mary Jane. I did an interview with her with the National Fibromyalgia Association with the importance of aqua fitness. It is so important. I feel like that's where I get the best workout and I have the best recovery. So I'm excited to get back in the pool probably next week to really get back into that swing of things and regimen. But moving my body, even going for a walk every day. It's funny, the times where I have really bad flare-ups, I always think I gotta stay in bed and I need to relax. But ironically, usually what helps me get out of that flare-up and like transition back out is going for a walk or doing some kind of activity and moving my body. So that's a constant that I have to always kind of rely on, is mentally getting up, getting off the couch, getting out of bed and saying, I gotta move my body, I gotta do something. So I use Apple Fitness and I do dance videos or the ab videos, or I do use YouTube, or I go to a gym. I go to the Piedmont Wellness Center and it's amazing. I love that gym. It is a sexy place. And honestly, it helps me get what I need. That facility has the pool, it has the gym equipment, it has outside a walking trail. Everything I can want and need, that facility has. It even has a physical therapy attached and an urgent care, which is awesome. But movement is key. And so, the mental part is the hardest part. Getting up and doing it is the hardest part. So sometimes I fall off, I'm lazy, or my pain just takes over and I'm like, not today. But most of the time when I do it, I don't regret it. The flip side is if I do something that's a little higher impact, like the gym or something, I am usually flared up the next day, unfortunately. So that's part of it. So I try to work out every other day and recover every other day. But with yoga, I do want to get back to the point where I'm doing it every day because it does help with my body a lot. Not sure if other folks with fibromyalgia have the same experience. Let me know in the comments, but it definitely helps me when I move my body and have some movement. All right, so that was number 7. Can I do this? 8. You can still have a social life. It just looks different. Yes, fibromyalgia definitely changed what my social life looks like. Everybody used to know I was booked and busy on the go, out on the town, doing my thing, shaking my booty, doing whatever. No, but always just out and out all night and out for hours and just out in the scene. I can't do that anymore. I mean, I don't know if that's age also. Look, I'm 36 now, so I don't know if that's a change. I've been there, done that, not really trying to pop bottles in the club no more. There's a time and place, but not all the time. And so even just grocery store, basic things, leaving the house, I can get flared up from. So I have to really be mindful about how I spend my time and who I spend it with and spending it wisely, right? Because I probably will be flared up the next day, depending on what I did, getting dressed, moving, driving, dancing, or standing. Like conferences sometimes can really just take the wind out of myself, and I'm flared up for like a couple days after that. So I have to really be mindful about how much time I spend where I'm going and how much energy I can exert when I'm there, because I always have to kind of pay for it the next day. It is what it is, unfortunately. But you can still have a social life. I always tell people, don't stop inviting me. Please give me a chance, give me a choice, right? Let me decide if I can make it or not. Sometimes I have to reschedule things, and most people are understanding about it, but you can have a social life. So I don't want you to feel like fibromyalgia takes that away and you have to be this hermit in your house. Like, no, you can be social. You probably just have to pace yourself or not go to so many events or not do so many things, but you can still be social and still have a social life. It just changes, right? I know it changes as we evolve and we get older as well. So there's that too. But with fibromyalgia, like, you can't be out for like, a lot of times my max these days is like 4 hours. If I exceed 4 hours, I'm probably gonna start flaring up while I'm there, or like that night, I'm probably down for the count and just bedridden kind of, you know? So a lot of times I have to have food prepared or food delivered in those moments because I already know like what's coming the next day. I'm flared up and I'm in so much pain that I just can't move and I'm just in bed. Like, it is what it is, you know? And it's frustrating. It can be frustrating, and it's like a mental warfare all the time, right? Because it's like, I want to go to this event. I know this is gonna happen. I know I'm gonna be flared up and in bed the next day, but it's worth it. But this is my life, right? So it's kind of like an acceptance as well. Like, I'm gonna be in pain, but I want to still enjoy life, and I'm not gonna give up, and I'm still gonna go outside, you know? And that's just part of it. But I just want people to know and be aware, like, just because we have fibromyalgia does not mean we cannot have a social life and be outside and enjoy ourselves and enjoy your company. We just might have to limit how much time we spend and recover the next day or two, but we still want to be there and we still want to be social. So keep inviting us to everything. All right, so number 9. Number 9, travel is still possible. I love to travel. I'm a Sagittarius. We like to be adventurous and free and get out there. I love, love, love to travel, okay? But it takes planning, patience, and grace. You're gonna have to probably pace yourself, take more breaks, rest. Depending on how many hours I'm traveling, I might have to rest that whole day when I land and kind of plan accordingly, because flying, change of altitude, and all of that can really mess with our circulation, blood system, and like, mess with our joints. Mess with our joints and cause a flare up. So flying can be really tough, and driving too for a long period of time. I was just on a road trip and I drove the way back, and even just in the passenger seat, I was kind of flared up, like having to stretch and move because we hit that 4-hour mark, right? And you know, you always have to have your medication nearby and medication ready to go, water or whatever you do to drink it, to be prepared. Get some stretching and movement. I try my best to like get yoga or something happening before I travel to help with my body. Or I might have to do some movements in the airport. It is what it is. Like, I used to be embarrassed about it before, but like, who gives a damn? I just need to move my body and stretch, and that's just what it is, to prepare myself for a flight or something. But I don't travel as much as I'd like to. I want to travel more, but sometimes it can be daunting thinking like, man, when I get on this plane or when I'm on this car, train, whatever it is, I know I'm probably going to be flared up or have some pain after. So I need to really pace myself and try to calm myself as much as I can from the stress and anxiety of like traveling in the airport. Because, oh my God, I don't know if y'all been to this airport in Atlanta, but it is mad stressful for no reason. So sometimes, honestly, I might need to take CBD or something before to just be like, woosah, right? Before I go, because it can be crazy. So you have to really prepare and plan and prep yourself. Have all your supplements packed, your medicine packed. Try to keep your same regimens as close as you possibly can while you're traveling. You can get water from somewhere, hot water, cold water, whatever, to kind of like get your supplements going. I try my best to pack everything and stay on point with it, because I know if I don't, things change, right? You don't feel your best. So you just really have to kind of be thoughtful and mindful and try to remove as much anxiety and stress out of it, because those two things also cause flare-ups, right? If you're stressed, if you're anxious, and your body's all tense, you're gonna flare up. So I try my best to just, like, shout out to my Filipinos, cool kalam, just stay calm, right? And just chill and just really try to prepare myself before I go on these trips. But I do love to travel and I don't want to stop traveling. It's just lately they've changed to more relaxing trips. Like, I just want to relax. I don't really want to turn up and like travel on foot and walk around and explore. Sometimes I do, of course, but I'm more like, where's the beach? Where's nature? I just need to chill and relax and like woosah. That's been my trips lately. But I'm hoping as my quality of life increases, because I'm still working towards it, I can get back to those where I'm traveling on foot and I'm exploring and like taking tours and all that kind of stuff, because I love that too. All right, last but not least, number 10. There are so many resources and great groups out there that can help. Sometimes with fibromyalgia, of course, and any chronic illness or ailment, you can feel lonely and feel like you're alone and nobody understands what you're going through. And through immense research and looking up online and encouragement from my family and friends, I did find amazing groups like the NFA, National Fibromyalgia Association. And it's funny, I just found my card that I signed up with to get my official membership card with them in 2020 that I forgot that I had. But full circle now, we got 5 years later, I'm a brand consultant with them, and I partner with them to bring awareness to the community and make change. And so it's really great to have a partnership with someone like them, because man, the resources are never ending. So we talked in the beginning about how hard it is to find a doctor. They have a good doctor list on their website, or there's different people that talk about their experiences and the supplements they've tried and the natural remedies they've given a chance, and they write their stories on there so you can talk to them. There's a community forum so you can talk to other people. They have a Facebook so you can engage with people on social media. There's just a lot of awesome resources, and even like pain tools, for example, or other options they're showing of like advancements in the health field and in the medical field of medications and just different solutions you can use. That's on the website too. So if you're curious about what's being tested or what's popular and happening right now in the world of fibromyalgia, they have that on their website too. And I know in different countries, depending on where you're watching from, I saw there's one in the UK, there's one in different places around the US, there's other resources out there that are for this community. And even if you just go on TikTok, there's people posting more about it and talking more about fibromyalgia. So I'm glad that it's become more of a common term that people are kind of gaining acceptance for or learning about. But just know there are amazing resources out there like the National Fibromyalgia Association that can really help you and guide you on this journey as you're trying to figure it out. If you're newly diagnosed, if you've already been diagnosed for years, you want to know some new information or just update yourself on information, all that is out there. So I just don't want people to hear this and think, oh no, it sucks. No, I want people to have hope, to know, yes, you have fibromyalgia. Maybe you just got diagnosed and you are so scared and you are unsure or just confused and you don't know what this is going to be like, or you've had it for 20 years and you're just so over it and you're exhausted from all these things that you've tried. Or you're like me and you've had it for like 5+ years and you're still on your journey trying to figure out some changes to have a better quality of life. There's still hope, and there's still a way for you to have a social life, to have fun, to enjoy, just have joy and enjoy your life still. I just don't want people to think, I have this ailment, I just have to be on my couch or in my bed. Like, no, you can get up and enjoy yourself. You can have an active life still. You just have to change the things that you do, right? And just get up. Hardest part is getting up, getting out there and being social. But this is the day, right, to bring the most awareness to this. And I couldn't be more excited to talk about this journey and give you guys more insight of what my personal experience has been with fibromyalgia. If you really resonated with what I had to say, please comment below and let me know if you have any questions, thoughts, insights, or what your experience might be. And I'm happy to just get back to you in the comments. And of course, press the subscribe button for more information and more videos that are coming soon. Happy Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. I'm just very excited that we have this special day in May to celebrate May 12th every year. Purple Ribbon, you'll probably see me post more about that with NFA or on my own websites and my own social media platforms. But again, like, subscribe, comment below, follow me for more, and we'll talk more about what's going on in my life. But today is the day to celebrate fibromyalgia. And I just want to shout out all of my people in the fibromyalgia community, whether you're in the community diagnosed yourself or a caretaker and one of our loved ones that helps us support in our journey and our fight with this chronic ailment. But thank you so much for your time and listening. And again, happy Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. This is Jacqueline Monet, and I'll see you guys next time online. Bye.